Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another video from the Pinoy Pick Pro. Tonight's video is again about a Kwikset entry lock, and the reason I decided to do this video is because I discovered something about this lock a while back, and I have not seen anyone mention it or demonstrate it. I haven't seen anyone put out a video showing this particular thing about this lock. Now, this particular lock is one that I had already kind of destructed, and so I thought it would be a good lock for this demonstration. Now, we all know there's several ways to breach this lock or bypass it. One of the ways that you can get past this lock is, I don't want to push this all the way in, but they make a lock buster that costs about $100 that you can stick in, put a key in and hook this thing up, and you crank it and it pulls this whole lock cylinder out. And once you pull the lock cylinder out, all you have to do is to turn the, you reach inside and turn the spindle, and then you're in. It locks or unlocks the door, as you can see that turning. Trying to get the camera to focus in on that a little bit. Now, one of the other ways that you can do this is, if the cylinder is pushed all the way in there, you would take a heavy bladed flat screwdriver and you would bang it into the seam there, and you would pop the lock cylinder out, and then go in with your pliers and turn the lock spindle. I'm trying to get my light to shine over on this thing, but a little difficult. Trying to get a good shot of the inside of this thing so that you can see it, but there you go. Now, as most lock professionals I know, we really like to breach a lock in a non-destructive manner. Now, when you put the key in, now this piece right here, this is the lock boss, or the spindle, and that's what actually locks the locking mechanism. You'll see it here on each side popping up, or excuse me, on the other side up here. So what I discovered is that there is a way to excuse me, to, without picking this lock and without damaging it, there is a way to bypass this lock and access that lock boss, thereby unlocking the lock, causing no damage whatsoever. And that's what I'm going to show you. And what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on this cover right here. This is where the weakness is. Now, if you'll notice this little dimple on the side, and there's one also on the other side, they're both right where the screws are. What we're going to do is we're going to pop that cover just like that. Now it comes off just a little bit. There you go. Now it's completely freed up. And this cover is very thin. But what we're going to be focusing on is that little notch right there. That's what we're going to be attacking. That little notch right there in the side of this thing. So what I've done is I've set up my my lock base here, and this is something that I put together. It's just 2 1/4-inch pieces of plexiglass with a 1-inch thick piece of wood in between. It's 1.5 inches wide, and you know, I'll throw locks in there and work on them and study certain things and try to discover certain weaknesses about certain types of locks. And I thought it would work out good for this demonstration. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this around. And let me see, I might have to hold it up so you can actually see inside of there. But this lock does work, okay? It does work, it does function. So, it's locked right now. So what we're going to do, see if I can get something to prop this up a little bit. We are going to concentrate on this cover, which is very simple to do. Now, let's take a screwdriver and we're just going to pop this cover loose, just like that. Now, here we go. Now, you'll notice on this lock, maybe I might have to zoom in a little bit. Notice this rectangular hole up here. Now we can use that, but a lot of these locks don't have this particular rectangular hole. This one does, I don't know why, but a lot of the ones that I've worked on do not have this hole. But they all have this little tiny hole on both sides of the housing. That's what we're going to attack. So what I did, and I've done this several times in the field, and I just want to make sure that we can get a good look at the lock boss right here. As you can see, it turns. So that's locked. This is unlocked. It's unlocked. Okay, now we're going to lock it. It's locked. Now let me get this into position so that the camera will get a pretty good view of this. So, let me see if I can get the camera to focus on this without the light causing too much glare. So what I did is, well, what we're going to do is, let me move this out of the way. Now, I took a long reach hook that I have, okay? It's a long reach hook, and I actually extended the cut a little bit, okay, so I could get a longer extension in reach. And this particular pick is actually, this is a pick made by Ilko, and it's only 20 thousandths. Okay, it's not a 25. if you're going to do this, you should use a 25 because it's heavier. These are a little prone to bending, so you can only use these picks so many times doing what I'm going to do before you just completely destroy them and they're not any good anymore. So most lock professionals that I know don't like to damage and destruct locks, and even more, they don't like to destroy their own picks. So so let's see if we can get this to work. Oh, but I forgot to show you exactly what we're going to do here. So this is what we're going to do. Using my modified pick, I'm going to slip it into this side hole, and I'm going to reach in and access that lock boss, and I'm going to pull it and spin it over into the unlocked position. And that's what I'm going to do now. And this really does work pretty good. And I'm really surprised that I hadn't seen anyone put a video out on this before. Maybe they just never caught on to it. I really just kind of fell onto it by accident one day. But, okay, now it's locked. Now what I want you to do is I want you to focus on this piece right there. That piece. See it going up? Now it's going to come down. Down is in the lock position. We're essentially going to reach into the lock and grab it and pull it up, unlocking the lock. Alright, that lock is locked. So, now I'm going to go in with my pick, and I'm going to reach down in below the screw. And once you do this a couple of times, you'll really get the feel for it. But it'll take a good couple of times to get the hang of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to exert downward pressure on the pick and pull it out at the same time. And hopefully get that thing to pop up. Ready? There we go. And it's unlocked. Just like that. Now let me see if I can back off a little bit. We're going to lock the lock again. It's locked. Okay. Here's the keys. Right there. Those are the keys lying right in here. Let's get another shot of this. All right. I want you to be able to watch the lock button here, okay? It's unlocked, and now it's locked, okay? Now, in with the pick, and we're going to reach right in. And like I said, once you do this, you know, 5 or 10 times, you'll get the feel for it. There we go. And that's really all you need. You don't have to engage the lock boss and spin it all the way to the unlocked position. Once you spin it about halfway, all you have to do is just crank and jiggle on the knob, and it will pop its way the rest of the way to the unlocked position. Now, let's get one more time here. Going in and feel my way around, and I'm on it. So exert some downward pressure and pull outward at the same time. And you're only going to get, there we go, I think I got it. Not quite. Didn't get it far enough. I may have bent the pick a little bit too much out of shape. There we go. I felt it go that time. There you go. So, and as you can see, my pick is a little bit, it's getting bent a little bit out of shape there, but it's worked for, I've been using this technique with this pick for a couple of weeks, and like I said, this is it's 20 thousandths, and I would recommend 25, but at the same time, I don't mind doing this and damaging these picks because they're not real expensive, but I'm not going to be doing a lot of this with my good picks. So if anyone out there has actually already seen a video on this particular technique, please let me know. I've never seen it before. Maybe I'm the first, I don't know. But I am going to stop picking on Kwikset locks. I'm not really trying to pick on them, but I am going to start featuring some other locks. It's just that Kwikset has so many things about it that can be used against it. And really, there's another lock called Defiant, which from what I understand is actually an off-brand of Kwikset, but it actually is a much cheaper and inexpensive lock, but doesn't have these particular weaknesses to that lock. I think the Defiant locks are, depending on where you live and what store you shop and buy it in, is probably like a $9 to $12 lock for an entry lock. This is a little more, but I mean, I see tons of these things all over the place. I see a lot of the Defiant locks too. So, but just be aware, because we don't make these videos to try to teach people to be criminals, but more to enable people and empower them to know better how to protect their homes and their loved ones. So we don't want to create criminals, so you have to be responsible with the knowledge that we teach you. So use this knowledge to protect yourself. Thank you.